Jermaine, first game back on a Saturday here at the Mustard Seed Stadium. 0-0 was the result against Guildford. Fair assessment of today's performance?
Probably. It wasn't a classic, but the pleasing thing was the clean sheet. Off the back of Tuesday night against Shearwater, where we conceded 3 goals, we sort of got back to being hard to beat. And I think the big thing is us getting that clean sheet. We had Samuel going back into the left back role in a sort of makeshift position, which I think was excellent. And obviously Josh Nunes, who again he's gone in at right back and hadn't had a chance to train with us. And the most pleasing thing is to get a clean sheet as a collective, not just the back four, but to come through that against Guildford, who is coming in your box every dead ball situation. So yeah, that was a pleasing thing. Yeah.
So first time in a while, Jermaine, that we've had an opportunity to chat. Obviously, that's been my fault, being busy and obviously not been very well, not been able to attend matches. So talk us through sort of last sort of few results versus Fleet Town, just to update fans and things, and on your perspective, how you've seen things. Obviously, a brilliant 1-0 win against Abbey Rangers, and then obviously Shearwater, the 3-2 loss sort of away from home on Tuesday night. So your thoughts on those?
Firstly, with Abbey, it was here at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. It was the first one I've had since I've been here, just under 3 months. So, I think we brought sort of 250 down. It was brilliant, and I think they all got behind the boys, and unbelievable result for us. We had to defend. We had to defend at times, and really, put bodies on the line. And obviously, we went and got the goal. We got the goal quite early, so it was backs against the wall from there. But I think to a man, that was a really good performance. And obviously, on the Tuesday, quick turnaround. Shearwater, fair play to them first and foremost. I think they deserve to win on the day. And yeah, we come up short. It's not like us again, most recently to concede 3 goals, but again, fair play to Shearwater. I think we may have suffered slightly from putting everything in that Abbey game. We had a few boys really struggling, but again, like I said, the highs of football and the lows in sort of 3 days, if you like.
And of course, Guildford today, and obviously before Christmas, that was a brilliant match away. Lots of goals sort of being scored there. So what was sort of the thought process sort of going into today's game, sort of the planning sort of going behind it?
Well, we knew that we could hurt them in terms of down the sides. We had pace up front in and around Lou. We just wanted to sort of get bodies in and around them and play off the second phase. The big thing today was us getting that second phase. We knew it dropped down, and we did get some half chances. But having said that, we knew we had to defend. When you're playing against Guildford sides, we had them watched on Wednesday, and obviously us playing them before. Come in your box, and it was important that we defended well, whilst obviously trying to be on the front foot at times. The disappointing thing is, again, we didn't quite take our chances. Again, we made half chances. We had, I think, 1 good chance in the second half, but credit to the boys. We didn't stop, and again, you're still having to defend. I've seen this where you get sucker punched anyway. It's a point. We move on, clean sheet.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously a point, clean sheet, but obviously a few half chances. Is that something that perhaps worry you a little bit, or was that sort of the first time sort of seeing more of those sort of half chances not being converted?
I wouldn't say it worries us. Our goal return, has not been too bad recently. And like I said, the thing, we've always got the platform. I think you keeping clean sheets is a platform, and there'll be things that we can work on. I think we've had another debut in there up top. Stratton's obviously scored last game. He probably blew up a little bit early, so at this level, sometimes there are chops and changes, so it's difficult to build momentum and field the same side. But yeah, I agree. It's one that we probably have to try and look at how we can hurt teams and implement ourselves on the game more. Having said that, I think having one of our players out, that one of our weapons is a long throw in the second phase, and we've had a lot of joy off that. We've not had that, so we've had to change things slightly. But really delighted for the point. We move on. And obviously on another day we might have nicked one of those chances.
And obviously, of course, from the highs of winning 1-0 against Abbey to obviously drawing today with Guildford and obviously the Shearwater match, would you perhaps suggest there seems to be sort of a difference in sort of performance in the way from we seem to go all out and seem to perform really well against the teams that higher up the league, but perhaps struggle a little bit with the teams close near us on the table?
Well, the stats obviously may suggest that. You look at some of the teams who've taken 3 points off. So it's one that you probably can't put your finger on. The occasions there. Sometimes, me as being a player before you do find something extra. I think it might be a little bit unfair on the boys. Teams around us are fighting for their lives. They're the difficult games. At times we've been one of them. So every point is precious, and you'll see that through the results through the division. So I think Camberley have obviously won 3-0 at Badshot. So like I said, it's one of those where anyone can beat anyone. We set up, they're well drilled, we're ready, and we know obviously they're a threat. It just didn't quite go in today. 1 goal was enough against Abbey. 1 would have been enough tonight. It just didn't happen.
And of course, obviously, back when we first spoke, when you first joined the club, we've sort of been going on quite a bit of a journey of results and things, and new players joining. So how are you sort of assessing your sort of first we're past the first sort of 10 games now, so how are you finding things with the club and things from there?
I think we're a little bit more settled. I am relatively happy. I wanted to come in and I set 2 points a game as my target. We're not far off that. Having said that, I think I come in was on 9 points. I think we're on 23 points now in less than 3 months. So it's a complete new squad. Players are coming in again. 2 more debuts today. So yeah, relatively happy. I'm always pushing and pushing the boys. Coaching staff, we're always trying to push. So we're not far from where we need to be. But again, every point is precious at the minute. Come the end of the season, so relatively happy to answer the question. Yeah.
And then thoughts looking ahead for Tuesday?
Yeah, we'll have to assess the squad. We've obviously got Lewis who's suspended. There's 1 or 2 that need minutes, so we have to respect that. We've got an absolute massive game after that at Camberley, who are in and around us. But again, we want to we've got a break from the league, but we want to go in there and keep momentum. We've got a clean sheet mentality. We want to be ruthless in both boxes and get that. So there'll be boys jumping at the bit, but there'll be some bumps and bruises in there. So we'll assess the squad, but we're going there to go and get something. It's at our place, and we look forward to it as well.
Jermaine, this comes to that part of the interview where I get to ask you your player of the match for today.
I think Josh Nunes. Again, I think at right back he was brilliant on the long throws. He won all these headers. On the ball he was good. I think for a man that's come in and he's not trained with us and he's come straight in, and a game like this where you're going to have to defend, I thought he was different again. I've told him that after. And it's a credit to the football club and a credit to people that we can attract players like that. They're coming, they're developing, and again, he'll be with us for the rest of the season and more performances like that. We'll welcome it.
Jermaine, thank you very much for your time.
Nice one.